Real Madrid, a season to forget, crashing out of key competitions, inconsistent performances, and now it looks like Carlo Ancelotti's legendary run is finally coming to an end. But the question is, who's next? In this versus rebuild, we're diving into two of the hottest candidates for the job, Xabi Alonso and Jurgen Klopp. Both bring elite tactics, passion and pedigree, but only one will lead Madrid back to glory. We're giving each manager 5 full seasons, using their tactical setups and putting them head to head to see who truly delivers right to the Santiago Bernabeu. Let's get into it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and as always, comment below what you think of the video. Which one of these two managers should get the job? So then, this is going to be Real Madrid inside of the game. Now, of course, they are a very, very good team. They've got fantastic players, so this rebuild is definitely more of a different concept of we've already got stuff to work with. But it is a big challenge today, as we are going to compare Xabi Alonso and Jurgen Klopp. Now, don't worry, we are going to give each manager 5 years from this point. So we're not going to have one manager 5 years in the future, because obviously he's going to have a better team. So both of them are going to go head to head in today's rebuild to decide who should get that job. Now, luckily for us, we have got a really, really strong foundation. We've got great reputation, great training, great youth recruitment, and of course a team that is up there with the best in the world, if not the best. We have got potentially the best attacking team in world football in terms of if you look at what's on the team sheet. Now, what is interesting about this is we can also go and improve it. We can go and sign players, and we are going to pop up on screen right now some of the most rumoured transfers around at the moment for Real Madrid. Now, this does include Trent Alexander-Arnold, Zubimendi, Mendes, those sorts of candidates, and of course a centre-back from Bournemouth. So we are going to try and sign them where it is possible. So if it does become unrealistic, we have to overpay for Trent, we will still do it, because that is what most likely is going to happen in real life, and I want to get the players that they're going for in real life to sort of realism the rebuild. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to go into the first season. Alonso is going to be first up, and this brings in its own set of worries and mysteries, because Alonso traditionally does play with two centralised players, which is fine because we've got Bellingham who can play there, Vinicius also can play there, but as you can see from the get-go, Vinicius and also none other than, where is he, don't hide from me, Rodrigo, are not fully comfortable in the AM role. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and, well, I am going to train them in that area, and we are going to give it a couple of seasons, but if it doesn't work, we are going to go 2 inside forwards, and they can sort of start out in the position they're comfortable in and drift in and play that role anyway. So to start with, this is going to be the shape. So it is going to be a typical Xabi Alonso system. Now, we don't make signings in the first window. That'll be the same case for Alonso and Jurgen Klopp. I'm not going to go over the players too much today because we know how good they are. In this system and these players, I will be honest, I think Jurgen Klopp's setup does actually work better, purely because the game doesn't actually have Vinicius able to play as an AM right from the get-go, which I think's a little bit inaccurate because he's been doing it partly for Ancelotti being a little bit deeper in some of the games, but it is what it is. I mean, the team's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, you have got Courtois, Militao, Rudiger. I know he's a controversial character, but each to their own, in my opinion. You've obviously got Vallejo in the middle. You've got Carvajal, Mendy, Camavinga, Tuchel, Diaz, Bellingham, Vinicius, and Mbappe. We cannot talk about this guy enough. I mean, he is such a good player. Of course, costs so much money that we need to make sure he is getting game time, because this tactic, for some reason, I mean, I guess it just classes Vinicius as the better striker. As you can see, Mbappe doesn't get into the team, so the training cannot come soon enough. We've also got Modric still in the team, Valverde, obviously Rodrigo, incredibly disrespected in my opinion, and also we've got the likes of Endrick, so we have got some really, really good forward-thinking players. Now, the idea behind this, of course, is to tally up how many trophies we win under Alonso, under Jurgen Klopp. And just to give you a bit of a teaser of what's coming up with Jurgen Klopp, this is Jurgen Klopp's system. So these are 2 tactics that are going to be on my main channel. If you do want to get access to these rebuilds and all of these perks and these tactics, you know where to go in the Patreon. There is currently 20% off with a custom code you can find on the Patreon. Make sure you go and get stuck in, because we've got endless content on there. Now, if you look at these 2 tactics side by side, The game favours Jurgen Klopp's system because it is a more well-common system, a more used 4-3-3. We can deploy Vinicius, Rodrigo and Mbappe in this system from Season 1, so I am predicting it to get to a hotter start, but I don't know, you know, because a lot of people don't give credit to the likes of Diaz, but I think he's a great player, and obviously Jude can really play high up in this system. In the other system with Ancelotti, he's sort of playing in a sort of middle ballpark. With this guy, this system, he can really thrive. So I'm quite excited. Now, transfers, I discussed, we are going to try and get Trent in for realism, but that's impossible in the first season anyway. We are playing it in 4 competitions, the Spanish First Division, the Spanish Cup, the Super Cup, and the UCL, and they are predicting a finish of around about, well, first place, as you'd probably expect. Now, Real Madrid just haven't had a good year this year, have they? Exiting the Champions League, you know, not been great, or they've been okay in the league, but I mean, they have so many high expectations. You don't really stick around if you fail to match them. So, yeah, it's pretty brutal out here, but let's get into Season 1 with the Alonso New Look Madrid. Right then, to Season 1, we are going to fail to win the league, which I don't think will go down too well if he was to go to the club, because the Madrid fans really do like to see instant success. But I mean, we're 2 points behind Barcelona. We are seeing Mbappe in the goal, so he clearly is getting game time, and Bellingham is going to be the best player in the league overall. Thibaut Courtois, the most clean sheets, so that's always good to see. And Arda Güler getting a lot of game time, I imagine, on the right-hand side, coming in with 10 assists, which is only one of actually being joint first with Carles and Rafinha. So a very strong performance there, and not too much to hate, to be honest, in terms of the player stats. We're only 2 points off winning the league. To make this blow a little bit easier to deal with, have we won anything else? It's not bad, you know. We've won the Spanish Cup 5-0 over Valencia, which is a real good performance. The semi-final isn't great, but it was on penalties as well. It would have been an actual real good final between Madrid and Barcelona. The Champions League, we are going to lose 3-2 to Arsenal in extra time, but we are going to get past teams such as PSG. That's a good sign. RB Leipzig on penalties, that is a worrying sign. We should have get past them quite easy. Round of 16, Newcastle on penalties again. How did we do, like, in the group stages then? Let's just go and have a little look. Where we were good. Okay, we lost one game here against Benfica, drew against Lazio, but then we did, comfortable wins, so not too bad. So I mean, for a first season, it's not perfect by any means, but we are getting to a Champions League final. We're runners-up by 2 points in the league. We've won a Spanish Cup. This Super Cup could have gone a lot better, but I mean, for Season 1, I think it's actually genuinely okay, because we can, of course, now start to sign people. Now, in terms of money, firstly, player performance, so we can see where we're going to spend the money. We have got a fair few injuries on Carvajal. He is out for 3 weeks. We've also got an injury here. He's actually been playing in midfield for some reason, which is quite interesting. 2 to 4 weeks. Diaz is going to be out from 9 days to 2 weeks, and I believe that is it. But if we quickly go and pop in the best 11, no real changes in terms of people that have broke their way into the team, of course, apart from Alaba, who should have been in there from the get-go. But we are seeing 3 and 10 from Carvajal. That's pretty decent. Quite a fair few goals from the entire back line, to be honest. Tuchel 5 and 3, Camavinga 4 and 5, Mendy 2 and 9, not half bad. Bellingham 25 goal contributions, pretty tidy. 22 coming in from Diaz, Vinicius 17 and 1, and big boy Mbappe, who would have been getting majority of the game time, 30 and 1. Arda Güler 6 and 15, and Rodrigo 2 and 1. Who only played 11 games and is slowly becoming more and more adept to playing in that central position, as is, I imagine, Vinicius Jr., who is slowly getting used to it, but of course, he has had 1 season, so it's going to take a lot more time than 1 year to perfect that. That's pretty obvious. So, I mean, it's okay. I must admit, I do think it's definitely easier to load this team into a 4-3-3, but I do think as we sort of progress throughout the years, we are going to get better and better and better. Now, because we are Madrid, we've got a big budget. We have got a total of 131 million. The team has got a fair bit of debt, but we're not going to focus on clearing that today. We are here to see how much we can push the limits with these new managers. So we are going to go and invest, and I think the most realistic signing that is going to be on my hit list is Trent. Now, sometimes it's almost impossible for the game to actually allow you to get him because he's about 400 million, something nuts. If that does happen, I will go for the other players first, and those players that were on the screen at the start, they're the priorities. If we can't get them, I will go and sign other people, but for now, we're going to go after those. So let's get into the first season, or the second season, but the first season of transfers, technically, and see how we can improve this team, because it's decent, but there's still room for improvement. Then, so signing one is going to be Zubimendi, a bit of an instalment signing in the end, but he is going to come in. Heavy links to him in real life, of course, after the Liverpool move didn't go through. In this game, it did go through, but we're going to take him off him right away for realism more than anything. He has a decent season, dropping a 6.9, of course, is going to play second fiddle to a lot of midfielders. We've got a world-class stacked 11, so he is one as a rotation player, but a very good rotation player, a great deep option, good marking, good passing, good tackling, good work rate, good stamina, a real hard working player, great for registration because he's Spanish, literally does tick every box, a 26-year-old elite midfielder, you know, who didn't cost me, he cost me a fair bit, but not like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And to partner in, we are going to welcome in Dean, coming in from Bournemouth. Now, this is one of the players who has recently been a lot more linked to Real Madrid, a player that I didn't even know was Spanish, I will be honest with you. He comes in for 41 million and plays a ton of games, and how? I did lock him in, because this kid has got no chance of getting any game time if I don't lock him in. So for 2 seasons, I am going to lock him in to build up his confidence, and then I'm going to throw him in with the big boys and see exactly how he does. But I mean, he's not a bad player. Is he exceptional? No. Is he one for the future? Yes. Is he easy to get? Yes. Is he Spanish and good for registration? Yes. So he does tick 3 very, very important boxes, and we had no players going out, so we've only actually improved with 2 new signings and 2 Spaniards. And those couple of changes really did help us. I mean, we are going to now be the league winners by 10 points over Barcelona, and Mbappe is going to have the most assists and the most goals. Bellingham just behind him with 20. We're also going to be seeing Bellingham in the 3rd most player of the matches. Thibaut Courtois up there with the clean sheets as well. Really, really impressive. The one thing that we're not seeing, I will go and look at in case I am mistaken, kind of. I was expecting more from the left back and the right back. Obviously, this is where we need Trent, because Carvajal is getting on, bless him. He can't really go up and down as much as what we want him to do. Ferland Mendy does do quite a good job, to be fair. But I mean, overall, a big positive. Back on top in the league. Us up in the Spanish Super Cup, which is a little bit annoying because it would have been nice to win. And the fact we lose against Barcelona, I know will never go down well. And to make it a little bit worse, it's going to be an incredibly early exit in the Spanish Cup from Almeria, a 1-0 defeat in the 4th round. And the Champions League, we can go down here to see we actually get knocked out by Tottenham on penalty. So an incredibly early exit. Where did we go into this? We did. We didn't even make it out of the league phase. We actually were in 15th, which is not acceptable. Beating Newcastle, Leipzig and Olympiacos, drawing against 3 pretty decent teams, but I think we should be beating at least Ajax guaranteed out of those 2, and losing against 2 teams that we should never lose against. So the Champions League not acceptable, this not acceptable, this very, very disappointing, and this a big improvement. So a mixture of emotion for this season, because the league is looking 10 times better. Obviously, we're now winners. The Champions League a big, big hit. The Spanish Cup is unacceptable, and the Super Cup is just a bit of a bitter one, because we obviously were in the final and we simply can't get the job done. And it wasn't by like a goal. It was 3-0 to, 0 goals. So they are clearly the favourites and deserve the win. It is what it is. But I mean, we can carry on building. Next season, I'm really going to try and go for Trent, and we have got 308 million. So if we are going to get Trent, it is going to be in this season, because we are never going to have more money than that. Literally will never happen. So we have to try and get him this year, because this team is actually very good. You can see Dean being locked in there. If we filter by the best 11, he doesn't get into the team, obviously, but the likes of Carvajal, 1 and 6, it's not horrific, but you compare it to Mendy with 3 and 12, if we get Trent at right back, we can have probably even better than Mendy in terms of contribution. So always keeps getting injured. It's getting quite annoying now. Only for 4 days. Rudiger's out for 4 months potentially, so luckily that's come towards the end of the season, as we have still got 3 very, very good centre-backs. Courtois, fantastic goalkeeper, dominating the stat lines. At some point I might get a backup, in terms of a little bit of a better backup, because Lunin's not really getting too much game time, so we will sort of pay attention to that. The man I want to talk about after Vinicius. In fact, let's drop him down there for a second, drop him there, and let's bring in Mbappe, because this is really good. 41 and 15 from Mbappe, Bellingham 26 and 12, Vinicius 8 and 0. It's not great, and he is still adapting to this sort of area, and he is progressing quite well in learning it, but I might, for the last couple of seasons, play with the inside forwards and just see how much better it is. This is the sort of thing that Alonso will go through, though. He might not be able to go there and play this narrow system. There might be better options out there, so we are getting a real accurate insight into how this might play. Now, Brahim Diaz also is doing very well, so let's give him his flowers, because 10 goals, 9 assists is really, really good. You've also got 1 and 7 from Modric. Sadly, we are going to look at Rodrigo, and again, just the 1 goal and 5 appearances. He's a man that really is struggling to get in this AM or shadow striker role, or up front, so I think for the sake of him, for the sake of Vinicius, and for the sake of just pure experimental reasons, we are going to play the last few seasons with sort of the Alonso winger variant, which will be on the YouTube yesterday on my main channel, so make sure you go and check it out. We are going to deploy that, I think, because it still has good influence for the wing backs, but also it will make a lot of players more comfortable. The player it will affect the most is this man, Bellingham, because of course he doesn't really play, he can play deep, but he's favoured to play a little bit up the pitch in this game, so it is going to be a lot of sort of learning for him as well. This is the thing with Madrid, they've got great players, you can't question their players, you really can't, but it can become difficult having all these big names because you try and give everyone what they want, and that simply can't happen. Right then, we are going to have a mega signing. Now, I would never spend this amount of money on him, but purely for the video's purpose, I have done so. And it was part up front, part installments. We are going to welcome in Trent. We're not even going to pay attention to the price tag because, as I said, incredibly unrealistic. I am aware of that, but getting him in the team is a big part of seeing how this system works. So he is going to come in for that price tag. He plays a ton of games and instantly more assists than Carvajal. That is in the league alone. Also scores a couple, a great average rating as well, and because we had the money, we also are going to pick up the another rumoured left back coming in. That is going to be Nuno Mendes coming in from PSG for a grand total of 150 million, and the left hand side seems to be cooking. 5 goals, 21 assists in the league alone, a 7.64 rating. He obviously has outperformed Trent in the left back role, and actually in this tactic there's more focus on the right back, so very impressed by Nuno coming into the team. Probably the best left back in the world at the moment, a joy to watch, very forward thinking, very quick on the ball, and also can finish, so very impressive stuff. And yes, it is a mental window in spend, in cost, you know, the total spend 331 million. That is the game's fault in my opinion. Some of the price tags in this game do make me think, come on, are we really on the same page here? But for the video purpose, we are going to make it happen, and I will stress that more than once just to make people aware that I have not lost my head. I know they're not fully worth that amount of money. But let's get into Season 3 and just see how new wingbacks might bring new results. We are going to stick with the narrow system for one more season, and we are going to go 1-0 up in this Champions League final. So a great start to the game, and there wasn't too much action actually, because both of the goals that are going to be scored in this game, a great ball there from Trent, both come from us inside of a minute between each other, and we are going to be Champions League winners in Season 3. To just about win the Spanish Cup over Atletico Madrid in the final on penalties. A very boring game, but I will show you the semi-result as well, because we do beat Barcelona 5-1, so a little bit of revenge there, although we go to the Spanish Super Cup and they beat us there, so it is pretty much tit for tat, and you probably got a bit of a glimpse. They also beat us in the league, so we're still yet to really string everything together in one really good season, but we are seeing Mendes top the assist category, which is really good. He's also taken home the most player of the matches, the most average rating out of everybody in the league. Mbappe, your top goal scorer, Thibaut Courtois, a few clean sheets behind Jan Oblak, as Atletico do have a very good season. Getafe going down, Real Haspalis, Pamplona as well, but Barca, great in the league. I mean, 32 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses. Practically flawless. A great season. And our issue was just too many of these. Too many draws. A couple of low-scoring games. The losses, you know, you lose to Barcelona there. You draw to them, I believe, here as well. We failed to beat them once in the league. You're not going to win the league when you can't at least get 3 points off them once. So it's a mixture, because winning the Champions League is a big bonus. The Spanish Cup, I'll take any day. But we can't link it all together just yet, and I have decided for the last 2 seasons under this system, we are going to deploy the version with wingers. Dean is now going to finish his final locked-in season, so now it is going to be a complete free-for-all, so that also might have an impact on how we perform. But I look at the team on paper, and the likes of Vinicius, he's now really comfortable in that area. He actually had quite a good season. He was, okay, I got him mixed up with Gula there. 1-1. I mean, yeah, 6 appearances. This can't run. This can't run. We are going to play with the wide players. I mean, that surprises me because he can play very comfortably here. But obviously, they are favouring Arda Güler, who done great, 14 and 8. Bellingham 32 and 14. Mendes 8 and 27. Camavinga 6 and 10. Trent 3 and 15. I mean, really, really strong. So we now got, you know, a ridiculous amount of assists. We've actually got 38 assists combined from both of our wing backs, which is absolutely remarkable. Valverde 3 and 1, Mbappe 47 and 7, 8 and 9 for Diaz, 3 and 4 coming in for Dean. We like to see that. He's actually developed somewhat okay, you know. He's a bit on the decline now because I think he had a bit of an injury towards the end of the season, but he is playing quite well, but I can't lock him in forever, you know. I lock him in for a couple of seasons to really build that confidence up. Then we are going to let it be fair game. So, I mean, going into the next transfer window, we are now going to deploy the one with wide areas, with wide wingers. So essentially it is like this. It looks pretty much like this, a little bit different, but to give you a rough idea, it is literally like this. So if we filter by the best 11, you then can have this front three, and I think that is going to be the good idea. And then naturally what we'll do is we'll tell them to sit narrow, and that will have them almost playing in this area here. So we are going to try it, we're going to see what happens, and we might even jump in and out of holiday modes to go back and divert to different tactics between the two, as is what real managers do in real life. So let's get into the next season. First, a big transfer window, but I mean, so far it's good. We are winning stuff, but we're not gelling everything together. We've not like won a Champions League and a league in the same year. We need to start to gel it all together. Right then, so a couple of players leaving on the free. The first one is going to be David Alaba. I did want to try and sell him for a little bit of money, but he come on the free, he leaves on the free. The big positive here is he has helped us out a lot this rebuild, and also we're going to free up his ridiculous wage. So a world-class player, but time to move on. Also going to wave goodbye to Beto. Didn't really play many games at all. He wanted to leave. Who am I to say no? He's not got a shot at getting in the team. Now, to really reinforce that backline even more, we are going to welcome in Castello Lucabella, coming in from RB Leipzig for 83 million. A very, very fair price tag. 30 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist, and drops close to a 7.2 rating. The guy's got great mental attributes, great mental attributes, sorry, nearly said all the words then. Great technically as well. He's quick, strong, and can put a challenge in, and he's 24, so he's the perfect centre-back, a literal elite centre-back, so you can't really go wrong with him. Yes, he cost me a fair bit of money, but it's actually quite cheap for Lucabella in the year of 2027, and it left enough money for us to go out and sign another player. Can you guess who? Fair play if you did guess, because it is going to be Nico Williams. Now, he comes in for 192 million and only plays 7 games. Now, this was a decision made of a couple of factors. One, we are now playing with wide players. Now, I wasn't guaranteeing he was going to be in the team from the get-go, because one, I am not going to lock him in. He's Nico Williams. He can fight for his place. But two, we've got Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo. You know, also we've got the likes of Bellingham, who can play on the right now, apparently. The same as Arda Güler. This is just a real good, I don't want to say backup option, I don't want to say squad player, but I don't know how else to phrase it. I guess it would be a backup, but not in a disrespectful sense. Just a rotation player would be still, that sounds very harsh, but that is what he is. We spend a lot of money to get him here, but that's what you pay for. He is one of the most exciting players to watch. He is rapid, direct, Spanish as well, great for registration, super easy to get him as well from PSG. For some reason, they were happy to sell him, and do you know what? I'm going to take it. Welcome in Nico Williams. And just as you'd expect, after spending a fair bit of money, you'd want good results, and we got good results. An invincible season in the league, showing that really this wide system might be the better one of the two. I mean, we are seeing Trent, Mendes and Mbappe all in the assist category. Both of our wing-backs, first and second, exactly what I knew we could do. Thibaut Courtois has a great season. Mbappe, Vinicius are going to be your top goal scorers. Mbappe, Mendes, Bellingham and Vinicius are going to be your best average rating players. So I mean, genuinely looking at it, over 100 points in the league, we didn't lose a single game. This is some statement. And I mean, we've now won 2 trophies out of 4 seasons, so it's a 50% win rate. So I mean, at the end of the day, if we do go and win the last one, which we'll see in the next season, it's actually a very, very good return. So I think we're now really coming into our own. We're going to be in another Champions League final. This time it is going to be against Arsenal, and I tell you what, we got off actually to a bit of a slow start. We didn't concede, but it took us until the 48th minute to go 1-0 up there with Camavinga, and from this point on we did still look very strong, I will be honest. Playing out from the back here from Camavinga, incredibly deep in this tactic. Rudiger all the way up there into Mbappe, and we are going to lead 2-0 going into the 52nd minute. And the only thing that Arsenal could do is go and get a consolation goal in the 72nd minute, meaning we have now won 2 Champions Leagues inside of 4 years. So that's not bad going. That is right, we are going to be back-to-back UCL winners against AC Milan and also Arsenal. Victory in Spain and also in France. So really good to see, and that is 2 massive trophies. And it does also get better because we've won the league, the Champions League, the UEFA Super Cup for the first time over Newcastle, 4-0, a very easy game, and also the Spanish Cup 2-1 over Villarreal, which does mean we've now won that 3 times, which is really impressive because, of course, we are tallying up the trophies. The only thing we don't win is that Spanish Super Cup, as we do lose by 1 goal to Barcelona. So the only way we can actually improve next year is to win all 5 trophies in one season, which is going to take some doing, but it is nice to see that we have now linked everything together. A league win, UCL, Cup, and a Super Cup. A real strong season, a quadruple winning season that does help out big time. And if we look at the players, definitely better play in this way. I mean, we have still got real good stats out of the wingbacks. 10 and 27 for Mendes. Trent 1 and 29. Rudiger 10 goals, I imagine, from set pieces. Camavinga 10 and 15. We've got Williams 3 and 1, a little bit quiet, but it's okay. 53 and 24 from Mbappe from the left. 56 and 7 from Vinicius up front. And we've also got Bellingham, who was playing a lot on the right-hand side, with 30 and 16. So this front line here is so good. And this tactic obviously does have wingers or inside forwards. But as you can see, none of them are even being told to sit narrow. But in the highlights, they do sort of sit in this area here. They cut inside all the time. The wing-backs can overlap. And this is clearly the better way of playing. We have got a front 3 that are all 5-star ability. The only downside, going into the next season, we've still got a big budget. That is not the downside. We've got 200 million. But you go down the team, Rudiger, wanted. Trent, wanted by City. Bellingham, wanted by City. Mendy, wanted by everyone. Valverde, Liverpool. Rodrigo, City. You know, Man City want most of my team. So we might lose a big player here, but we've got the money to replace him. So let's go and see what we can do as we aim to win. Well, it'd have to be 5 trophies to beat this. Well, we didn't lose anybody, and my decision was to sign another centre-back and a goalkeeper for backup this window. So the centre-back is going to be a perfect, world-class 5 out of 5 Wesley Fofana. He has been playing very well at Chelsea, so I thought, do you know what? He's improved every single season almost as well, apart from this year here. Ever since this one, up and up and up. So I decided to spend the money. It's a lot of money, but he is going to be probably jumping right into the team. He is still very quick, got great tackling, great heading, great marking, great technique, and if we are going to try and attempt this 5 trophy season, we need to get players like him. And to finish off the last signing of the Xabi Alonso part of the rebuild is going to be this lad in Rome, Jadon Asowu Odaro. I believe I said that right. Coming in from AZ for 23 million, doesn't play too many games, keeps 7 clean sheets out of 8 games, by the way. So, and conceded 1 goal, obviously. So, I mean, remarkable stuff from him, but not a first team goalkeeper. Courtois is still about, but when Courtois does go, this guy is going to be more than ready to fill that void, and that is going to complete all of the transfers from the Xabi Alonso era. We've seen Zubimendi come in. I mean, he has had a bit of a backup rotation sort of vibes, same as Dean now. You then look at Nuno Mendes and Trent, new star boys, wing back, left back, right back, Luca Bea, Williams, big additions. The only people we've let go is Alaba and Beto. We've also obviously brought in, lastly, Fofana and Rome in goal. So we've ticked off a lot of the predicted signings and some wildcards in there as well. And I think that we have done a genuine good job. And we've still got 1 more season to add more to the tally. We are going to start off hot with the league. We are going to win the league for the last time, which is really, really strong because that does send a big message to the teams around us. Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe, 37 and 33. So, I mean, ridiculous stuff from them. We're talking 70 goals from 2 of the front 3 in the league alone. Courtois the most clean sheets. Nuno Mendes and Bellingham in the top assists, which does tell me Bellingham is still playing on that right-hand side, which is completely fine because if he's playing well there, he can have the position. That is a real good start, but that's one of a potential 5. We have gone back-to-back, I believe. It is back-to-back against Trabzonspor in the UEFA Super Cup. A very interesting team to play, but we'll take it. Spanish Super Cup, we are also going to win 3-0 over Villarreal, so far, it's a perfect sweep. Off to Valencia for the Spanish Cup final against Real Madrid, and I tell you what, against Real Madrid, against Barcelona, nearly forgot who I was then, we are going to get off to a great start with Vinicius inside of 63 minutes. So we took our time to get there, but we are going to lead the game. Sadly for us, Barcelona have still got a lot of their real top players. I mean, they've also got Noah Darvic into the system now, really worked him in nicely, and we're going to be pushed to extra time where we are going to get a great opportunity, and now we have got the likes of Trent delivering balls in, we have always got a chance. Simple as that. A great start there. We are then going to go and grab another goal in extra time. At this point, by the way, Barcelona were down to 10 men. Rodrigo going through alone, and oh, it's lucky, but we'll take it. Off the post and the other post to make it 3-1. And we go on to win this trophy by 4-1 with Rodrigo down the left-hand side. Plenty of space, driving in, still driving, going alone, back in the middle, a little deflection. I'm not going to complain. A great trophy there. Meaning, all we have to do is win the Champions League. We have gone invincible in the league phase. The round of 16, we are going to lose 3-2 to Chelsea. So the only thing we didn't win is that Champions League. So we are going to fail to win the perfect 5 out of 5, which is some challenge, so I'm not exactly annoyed by it. But a little bit annoying we didn't get it done, I will be honest. But we can go and tally up now what we have won. But this is the end product of the rebuild in terms of the Alonso section. Definitely better to play this way. You can see here how they differ. I personally prefer the winger version. Again, both of these variants are going to be on the Patreon, so you can choose yourself. This team is really good what we left them. A really good team. 47 and 6 from Vinicius, Mbappe 50 and 19, Bellingham 21 and 25, Mendes 3 and 26, Trent 3 and 18, Camavinga 10 and 11. I mean, it is a remarkable team with people on the bench like Rodrigo with 18 goal contributions. You've got 4 from Endrick, a player who never really got going in this. I mean, he was given not that many chances, but I mean, maybe we should have locked him in, but that means not having either Mbappe or Vinicius in the team, which I don't think is really accurate. So that is pretty much the harsh reality. Carvajal is going to end up retiring after a decent season, and overall, I'm happy with what we have done under Alonso. Our backline's incredible, midfields remain somewhat similar in the deeper areas, the wing-backs have been buffed up tenfold, and the front line is still pretty much the same. So, a very good one. The only downside I'd say is probably this signing. I guess I was expecting more game time out of him, but when you have got so many players that can play in them areas, it's going to be quite hard for him to break into it. But I mean, going over to the club info, we can go and see the trophies that have been added to the roster. Under Alonso, we have won 4 Spanish League titles, 3 Champions Leagues, 2 Spanish Super Cups, 2 Spanish Cups, and 2 UEFA Super Cups. So that is going to be what we have won under Alonso. Now, over to Jurgen Klopp. We are going to jump right in with Jurgen's Klopp 4-3-3 and win a league title. Only losing 2 games, Mbappe, the top goal scorer, the best average rating, the most assists. So it is a bit of the Mbappe show, which is quite nice to see because he was good with us under Alonso, but in the first year, this is some statement. Camavinga also getting a lot of game time, the second most assists, Courtois the most clean sheets, a very strong start, as in season 1, we are already league champions. And we are off to Wembley for a Champions League final against Barcelona. So this would be some statement if we win this as well, because this is a big improvement. But with own goals like that from Alaba, maybe it's not going to be our day. Now, of course, we've now only got 2 at the back. We've got 2 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, so a 4-back system opposed to a 3-back. So, you know, it is a very different way of playing football, but we don't seem to be struggling that much compared, you know, to maybe what we did in the first season under Alonso in certain areas. I mean, we're going to find our way back into the game. A bit of a weird throw in there, but Rodrigo is finally going to get it on the edge and cut inside. A bit of luck there, but we are going to turn this game complete 360, leading 2-1. Now into the 70th minute with Vinicius Jr. over into Valverde, into Bellingham, who of course plays a very, very big part in this system. A great goal into the bottom left-hand corner, as we are going to lead the UCL final 3-1. And to wrap it up, nothing sweeter than a Barcelona mistake. We are going to find Diaz on the right-hand side, cutting it back into Vinny, and we're going to be Champions League winners as well. We also go on to win the Spanish Super Cup 3-0 over Barcelona. The only thing we didn't win is the Spanish Cup against Barcelona, as we lose 1-0, and we would have played Las Palmas in the final, so without no disrespect, we would have won that as well. So it is going to be a treble in the first season with this system, and there are things to explain why. You look at this team on paper, it does suit a 4-3-3 really nice in this game. Is it better in real life? That's completely up for you to decide. You are going to get the final say. But when you can play Mbappe, Rodrigo and Vinicius, you got 28 goal contributions out of Rodrigo in his first season, 52 and 18 from Mbappe, 24 and 4 from Vinicius, 8 and 13 from Modric in midfield. You've also got Bellingham in the team, 14 and 10. Camavinga doing great. Yes, I will say the wing-backs, maybe not as influential as that 3-back system, so that is one argument. Valverde, though, also can get game time, 7 and 17. Brahim Diaz, 10 and 7. I mean, in terms of, like, the midfield and attacking, I almost prefer this, but you do, in areas, miss out of the wing-back dominance. But if your wingers are better, do your wing-backs also need to be that good? So it's pretty much tit for tat. It's pretty much how you want to play football, right? So we are going to see what happens when we can introduce a Trent and Mendes, if we can get them in this version as well. Because it'll be interesting to see, because if we're getting, what do we have with Alonso? 38 assists from our wing-backs, and we've also got this up front, this might be the best team ever, because it will be absolutely remarkable. So a very, very strong season and a very, very strong system. And who doesn't like Jurgen Klopp? Who doesn't like attacking, high-intense football? Everybody loves it. So it's a win-win. Going into Season 2, we've got obviously a very similar budget, 129 million to go and spend. Of course, we are going to go for the targeted transfers, but sometimes the game doesn't like it. One signing we could do is actually bringing in Trent for a total of 130 million, 32 appearances, 6 goals, and also 9 assists. So he has definitely put up more assists than Carvajal, and maybe has just done what I said. Imagine if we get all the assists from Trent and also the left back. We are now going to have it hopefully from the right back at bare minimum, as he comes in and gels right away. Now, this is a very interesting move for me, because Madrid fans, no disrespect, sometimes do turn against their own players, as any team does, but I hope if he does go there in real life, he doesn't end up getting the Gareth Bale treatment, something like that, because he doesn't deserve to be turned against, you know. Unfortunately for us, he's actually injured for 2 to 5 days. You can see right there, yeah, you can see a little bit of a draw in action against PSG, so that'll be fun to look at. But overall, happy with it. But yeah, you saw it there. We are going to make our way to another Champions League final, but sadly, we are going to lose on penalties against PSG. So, I mean, quite disappointing to lose on the final, but let's not forget, we beat Barcelona in Season 1. That is now 2 seasons and 2 Champions League final appearances. That's not bad going. We are going to lift the UEFA Super Cup for the first time, 4-1 over Benfica. Not the biggest trophy, but at this stage, we're going to take it. Also going to lift the Spanish Super Cup 2-0 over Barcelona. It's nice to get it done. As you can see, that is now going to be back-to-back seasons. I mean, genuinely, we love to see it, and we have clearly got Barcelona's number, because the only thing we don't win is this Spanish Cup against Valencia. The first division, we're nearly going to go invincible with 33 wins, 4 draws and just 1 loss against Vallecano, who actually finish in 7th place. Not bad for them at all. Mbappe and Vinicius are going to be your top goal scorers. Mbappe and Bellingham are going to be in your assists. Thibaut Courtois, the most clean sheets. And it is very nice to see Rodrigo also getting a very, very high average rating. And I now look at what we're doing. So far, I think we are up on the Alonso system, which is going to be quite an interesting outcome, I think, because we still have 3 transfer windows, so the team is nowhere near yet done. We can still improve, and looking at the team on paper, the front line might not need anyone new. I mean, we've got 37 goal contributions here, 46 and 19 from Mbappe, 35 and 9 from Vinicius. Bellingham 25 and 15, 5 and 16 from Alaba. I mean, it is incredible. 8 and 14 from Trent, which is really, really strong, because we are now doing what I was saying, imagine it happens. We've got 2 wing-backs with 30 assists. We've got Rodrigo with 17, Mbappe with 19, Mendy also picking up 7 and 15, 6 and 8 for Valverde, Endrick 7 and 5, Carvajal with 9 assists. So we're also rotating the squad really, really well. We're doing a great job. And I mean, looking at the players that we might want to bring in, I definitely want a younger left back, because I think he will go really well with Trent. I want to try and get Zubimendi again for a backup option in midfield, and maybe a younger goalkeeper for the future. But I mean, to do that, we're not going to struggle. We've got a budget of 311 million. We're not going to struggle at all. So let's cue the next season and see exactly what we can do, because this is going very, very well. We are going to have an outgoing, and we kept him in the last one, but Rudiger is going to be going to the Saudi League on the free. Now, he joined on the free, he leaves on the free, so no financial loss, and he has played a big part in our success so far. So fair play to him. He is going to go and get £1 million per week, hence why we couldn't afford to keep him, because his wage demands were absolutely nuts. Signing 1 is going to be Zubimendi. Again, a player who we signed obviously with the Alonso era, £64 million, 15 appearances, actually getting a bit more sort of game time than what he did in the Alonso tactic, and doing quite well with 2 goals, 3 assists, a decent average rating. He is a player that by no means is going to set light to the league and get tons of game time, but just to have in the squad will help out a lot. It really, really well, and he's always a player that, again, has gone to Liverpool, so very interesting, and also quite easy to get, so we're always going to get him. Backs, the first one is going to be a bit of a backup option, that is going to be Diamande. Now, for most teams, he's a lot better than backup, but for us, he isn't. 15 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist. Now, when I say backup, this guy's much better than backup. But when you see them, the next centre-back we're going to bring in is one that has been rumoured to go to Madrid over the past 6 months. It's talk. Nothing's happened yet. In fact, let me show you the name. It is going to be Saliba. He comes in for 238 million. A world-class centre-back. Some say the best centre-back in the world. Do you think he is? Let me know in the comments. So we've welcomed in Diamande and Saliba into this back line, which explains why Diamande didn't get all that much game time, because this man gets 35 appearances. He scores 10 goals, 2 assists, a great average rating. The guy enjoyed a great season. And yes, it's a lot of money, I'm aware of that, but we are Real Madrid. We've got the money to spend. We've also got instalments, and we're trying to see how good this team could actually become. So we're going to welcome in a great backup DM, a great backup centre-back to almost replace Rudiger. And I guess actually Rudiger's replacement is Saliba, who is, well, let's just say a little bit better. That is going to lead for another title win. I mean, no wonder why. It is now going to be 3 titles back-to-back. So we have got the chance of winning every single league title we play in, which would probably cement him favouring Alonso in this sort of challenge. I mean, we're not slowing down at all. The only thing we're slowing down in is Courtois' clean sheets, which isn't not really an issue, because we only lose 3 games and we win 32 and draw the other 3. Mbappe, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Vinicius are going to be everywhere. I mean, Vinicius and Mbappe have never not been in the top goal scorers. The assists are absolutely incredible. It's nice to see that Rodrigo's getting a lot of game time, same as Camavinga. Obviously Jude would anyway, but I mean, it's a very, very strong season, and I imagine with one more. Let's just go and have a quick look. 3, 2, 1, bang, there we go. A lot more to talk about. Another Champions League win, a 3-1 win over PSG. Now that's impressive, but who did we get past? We managed to beat Bayern 3-0. That's a good result. We're also going to go and beat Besiktas 8-1. They may as well not even have turned up to that one. And the round of 16, okay, that gets even worse. 12-4 over Galatasaray, and I imagine the league phase was invincible again. So a very, very strong time in the UCL. We also are going to win the Super Cup, 3-1 over Barcelona. And the only thing we don't win is actually the Spanish Cup. 2-0 against Barcelona, a little loss there. The Friendly Cup, we're going to win that 3-1. And I think it's quite comfortable to say, as it's standing, we're probably going to be better off with Jurgen Klopp's system if you're rebuilding this team in this game. This video isn't being put out to decide who's the better manager in real life. It's purely an FM experiment to see what would work best according to this game. And at the moment, the 4-3-3 It's absolutely cooking. Now, don't get me wrong, having budgets like this is going to help. We've now got 324 million. And having this team on paper, I mean, you look at this team on paper, it's basically like a World 11. You've got Courtois, you've got Trent, Saliba. I mean, there's so many people. Alaba, Mendy, Tuchel, Camavinga, Bellingham, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinicius. You've got countless people. You go to the bench, you've got Militao, a player that we didn't even talk about, who is world class at what he does. You've got Valverde, you've got Endrick, you've got Zubamendi, Diamande, Diaz, Carvajal probably coming up to his last year now, maybe one more year. I mean, Arda Güler as well. We're seeing a nice mixture, and in terms of the stats, we can't fault anyone. We've got Trent 6 and 15, Mendy 5 and 10, 14 goals from Saliba using my new set pieces. That is really, really good going. Alaba 2 and 10, 24 and 16 from Bellingham, a 40 goal contribution season, 19 and 18 from Camavinga. You've got 21 and 20 from Rodrigo. Mbappe, I mean, they're unlike human stats. They're ridiculous stats from this front line. And I just think when you can play everyone from the first season, you've got a big chance of improving on when you can't. So this is going to be very interesting now, because we've actually got a couple more seasons to try and top what we've done so far. And at the moment, we have not lost a single league title. We're 100% in all of them. Like, we can't be beaten. Right then, so with Alaba, we are also going to let him go to the Saudi League. He's just getting paid shy of £1 million a week, so I'm sure he'll be okay. He comes in on the free from Bayern. He leaves on the free to the Saudi League. Again, he's been a big player for us over the past few years, and at the end of the day, it's fair for him to go. Simple as that. He can go to the Saudi League, enjoy a little bit of football before he retires, and we've got enough centre-backs to you know, cover ourselves. We've got array of them. We're also going to wave goodbye to Carvajal. Now, realistically, this guy would have retired at Madrid, and I would have wanted him to retire at Madrid, but he was adamant on the move, so I thought, you know what? If you want to go and play at Stuttgart for a year or so, go and make it happen, because we spent, what, 5 million on him? He has won how many trophies under us? Not just under us in this video, but in general for Madrid. I mean, he has been such a player. Basically, Madrid, all of his career, apart from this little stint here, absolutely incredible. So he's got a little stint here in Germany. He's got to end his career in Germany. What a player he has been. And I mean, to replace him, not exactly in left back, but we have got a left back who can play right back. So we brought in another left back in Udogie. Now, it's not going to be Mendes. We literally could not get Mendes for the life of anything. They would not even take 280 million. At that point, even for the video, I'm not going to do it. But we are going to pick up Udogie for 100 million. 18 assists. 8 goals, a great average rating, and him and Trent now might complete the best wing-back partnership in football history. The guy is absolutely rapid. He's got great crossing, great work rate, great tackling, great technique. Also, he's 24, so we've got years of football with him, and he still can somewhat improve a little bit, which is quite scary to think. The guy is nuts. And just because we lost a centre-back, I thought, do you know what, we have got enough, but why not strengthen a bit more? We are going to welcome in Antonio Silva for 115 million, and he gets right into the team. So someone has been booted to the bench. A 7 average rating, again, a player that went to City in this sort of save, and then come to us. So he's been around the block a bit, but he's still a very, very good player. Great acceleration, great pace, great stamina, great tackling, great heading. I mean, everything you would want for a centre-back. And now that is now 2 signings, when none of them are older than 24. So we're also preparing slowly for the future. I know they're not 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, but still quite young for footballing terms, and is already an elite centre-back. So he can be put into the first team, as is shown, right from the get-go. Lastly, we are going to have our goalkeeper prepared for the future. That is going to be Costa. Courtois is about 34 to 35. This guy's 27, which is quite young for a goalkeeper. And for £50 million, I will take the punt. 4 clean sheets in 9 appearances. Very, very strong. And a goalkeeper that when Courtois decides to say, do you know what? My time's up. He can go right in. He's good enough. I've signed him before, and this is a bit of a recovery window because we've lost a couple of long servants at the club. Also, Liberto we are going to lose, which doesn't really mean too much, but we've replaced them not only directly, but also improved by welcoming in a future goalkeeper. So far, so good. Nobody else leaves, as you can see. No other activity going on, and we are going to go into Season 4 now, aiming to win another league title. Can we make it 4-4? Right then, the Spanish Cup final playing at Valencia, and we are going to get off to an awful start there. One of the most scrappy goals I've ever conceded. Luckily for us, around about 30 seconds after, very, very rapidly after, Vinicius is going to make it 1-1. And from this point on, I don't know what happened to Barcelona, but they completely crumbled. Camavinga around about 12 minutes after, down the left-hand side into Mbappe, plenty of space, inside into Bellingham. You're not going to beat that. I mean, when you give Bellingham the ball in those areas, he will score goals. It's a simple but very, very fun fact. He's such a good player at what he does. A real good player. And as you can see there, an awful mistake from Barca. It's a 3-1 win. Also going to win the Spanish Super Cup 3-0 over the same team. If we've beaten him in the league as well, they need to improve big time because they can't go toe-to-toe with us. Super Cup wasn't even competitive. We play a Napoli team which is now managed by Tuchel, which is quite interesting and unique. It's not a bad team. I mean, that's actually a really good team. So a 6-0 win now feels a lot more even rewarding. So a great season. And have we won the league? Yes, we have. The only thing we don't win is the Champions League. But again, getting to the final, really impressive. But we've won the league again. That is now 4 out of 4 opportunities, and we go invincible. So yeah, this is quite something, and this tactic is coming out tomorrow, so make sure you are going over to the main channel and getting it, because it is absolutely nuts. And I tell you what, for the first time, we are seeing Trent top the assist category. We're seeing Udogie right in there as well, and Mbappe right in there. The wing-backs are as influential in this system. That was my only worry with the 4-back compared to the 3-back, but it's proved me wrong. We're enjoying some really good footballer moments right now. 4 players in the average rating, great from Courtois as well, and genuinely, there's not too much to improve on when you're winning 1, 2, 3, 4 trophies. Very similar to the sort of Alonso era. We can't do the 5 out of 5, but who's going to complain at a quadruple? Not many people. And I mean, to attempt the 5 out of 5, we have got a budget of 230 million, but looking at the team, where do you spend that money? Because it's got to be planned into the future. I mean, if you're going to be petty, you could probably argue that maybe we could do with some backup wingers, because Diaz and Munoz could be moved on. But I mean, first team, just look at the stats. Trent, 33 assists. Udogie, 24. 9 goals from Saliba. In fact, look at the names instead of the stats. Courtois, Trent, Militao, Saliba, Udogie, Tuchel, Camavinga, Bellingham, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinicius. You are not going to build a better team than that, in my opinion. That is genuinely crazy. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players, perfect 5 out of 5. There is not a single player under 4 stars. This is a team that's built for the current, but also we've got the likes of Costa, Silva, Endrick, Zubamendi as well, Diamande. We've got players that can also go into the next era of this Madrid team. So let's just go into the last season. I'm going to sensibly try and sign someone, but if I can't improve the backups or the team, I simply won't sign anyone. Right then, so for the last season, there are going to be a couple of players that will actually improve this team. The first one is going to be one of the most helpful pickups in Football Manager this year, in my opinion, Rico Lewis, because he's a young player who's played at Man City, so a really high level. He's valued at Man City, played well for Man City, and also can play in 4 to 5 positions. He's young as well, so he can also grow a lot. Now, it's up to you where you really want to play him. For us, he's going to actually be a backup of right back and DM, so he's going to get a chance to be all over the pitch in different areas. Now, for us, he only plays 15 games because we have got real world-class players, but he will be a great fill-in player, and it also weakens a big team in the Champions League, so it made pretty common sense. And apart from him, there was one attacker that we got as backup as extra, and that was actually Adeyemi for 78 million, coming in for 78, as I just said, 19 appearances. So he is going to get game time, 8 goal contributions, because he can play anywhere along the front 3. Now, there was one thing I was looking for when I was signing an attacker for this system, and that is someone that can play all 3 positions very comfortably. Now, these people include the likes of Mbomo, João Pedro, but also Adeyemi. So I thought, you know what? We'll make it happen. He's not too much for what you get. He is still only 26, so you've got 5 years in him, 6 years in him tops before you move him on. And he's a player that's no joke. I mean, he's been playing quite well for Dortmund. You know, it's not bad in terms of return. And I thought for the money, it's obviously a fair bit for most saves, but for Madrid, as pocket change, so I thought we'll go and make it happen. But is that enough, signing him and also Rico Lewis, to win 5 out of 5? Let's go and find out. Well, in terms of the league, we have gone 38 out of 38. We've won 5 out of 5. This might be the best tactic I have made for this current team. Genuinely incredible. Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Bellingham are all going to be your top goal scorers. Vinicius, Mbappe, Udogie, Rodrigo, your top average rating. Trent and Udogie back in the assists. Courtois the most clean sheets. What this team can do everything. I mean, genuinely taken over Spanish football. Not a single team has been close to beating us in the league since we've come in with Klopp's system. Maybe Klopp's the right choice. We are also going to lift the Spanish Cup 3-0 over Cadiz. A bit of an easier final, but you can only play what's in front of you, so I'm not going to complain. Unfortunately, that is where it ends, because we do lose the Spanish Super Cup 2-1 over Barcelona and the Champions League 2-1 over Arsenal. So, I mean, we're going to go out with just 2 trophies in this season, but looking back at what we have done, this is where you guys are going to come in the comments, because which manager would you have at the club based off what you've seen in today's video, and why is what I want to know, because we can go into the club info and obviously see what we've done. There's a ton of trophies being added. So with Jurgen Klopp, we will quickly recover what we've done under Alonso and we'll compare right now to what we've done with Klopp. So with Alonso, we won 4 leagues. With Alonso, we won 5. With Klopp, we won 5. With Alonso, we won 3 Champions Leagues. With Klopp, we won 2. With Alonso, we won 2 Spanish Super Cups. With Klopp, we won 5. With Alonso, we won 3 Spanish Cups. With Klopp, we are going to win 2. With Alonso, we won 2 UEFA Super Cups. With Klopp, we won 3. And also with Klopp, we won the Friendly Cup, which does not mean that much, but it is a trophy. Now, for me, I'm going to give it, I know it's 1 less Champions League, and this really comes down to how much you value your Champions Leagues, doesn't it? Because a lot of people value that way above everything else, to the point where some people will say, I would give 2 league titles up for a Champions League. And I'm partly in that boat, because an extra Champions League with Alonso and only 1 less league title, I'm personally going to give it to Alonso. I know it's hard to overlook what we've done in the league right now, because it's a 38 out of 38 win season with some brutal batterings in there. It's a 100% win rate when it comes to league titles. We have won 2 Champions Leagues, 5 Spanish Super Cups, 2 Spanish Cups, 3 Super Cups as well, UEFA ones. It's a lot of trophies, but I just think the Champions League means so much to Madrid as a team. And I know what their fans are like. So I think also, based off the fact that I think it will be Alonso going, I am going to give it to Alonso. But let's not beat around the bush. If Klopp does somehow get this job, he's ready to go. What a team we have built. And for the first time ever on history on this channel, all the Patreons who go over and download this in this one post will now get 2 rebuild files. The Klopp one, the Alonso one, 2 tactics, all in one post. So make sure you go and check it out. There is currently 20% off, so make sure you go and take full advantage of that as well, and I'll catch you in the next one. But more importantly, let me know in the comments if you want to see another versus rebuild, and let me know who. I'll see you in the next one.